Hello everyone, my name is Jovan. I'm a Reiki practitioner, a sound healer, a tarot reader, and a channel for spirit. And I was guided today to do this video for you about a transmission I received maybe about a month ago, and they wanted me to actually make a video for it. And so this is just a little quick share with all of you. So about a month ago, I was laying in bed, I was sleeping, and I was in a pretty deep sleep, I would say, and out of nowhere, all of a sudden I heard a deep booming voice, and it was Archangel Michael, and it said, or he said, the earth. It was like he was announcing who was gonna be coming in to communicate with me. So I hear the earth and I wake up like right away. I'm like eyes wide open, and shortly after that, second set later, I was basically given a download, and I was shown in this download a film reel that had about 4 frames, and it was like 2 in the top, 2 in the bottom. And the energy that came through this download was very feminine, and the visuals on these frames were of the earth, of this one particular location on the earth, like basically the same landscape. Basically it was like if I was looking at the screen or looking at the film reel, I'm seeing from this view golden wheat. Beyond the golden wheat that's kind of like blowing in the wind is some sort of like river or body of water, maybe a lake, but I think it was a river. And then above that, I see in the sky 2 suns, and it's like, it's daylight. It's pretty warm and sunny. And these 2 suns are, in certain positions in relationship to each other in the sky. And so each frame showed the 2 suns slightly coming together closer and closer per frame. And in response to that, the water levels were different, like dropping in each frame. I hope that makes sense. And basically the message I was getting from Gaia Sophia was that she was reassuring me and letting me know that everything is happening right on time, that these are her cycles that go beyond like the human lifespan, and that this happens, and that everything is on as planned. And I asked, is this Sirius, these 2 suns, is this our sun, Soul, and is that other second sun Sirius, the central sun? And I was given confirmation by her showing me like an Egyptian relief of an Egyptian going like this, looking up to the suns, and basically each hand was like holding the suns in the sky. So I was shown that stone relief, and then so that was a confirmation. Yes, this is Sirius. This is the grand central sun, and the way it's aligning with Gaia, right, to bring in the golden age. So as soon as I absorbed that understanding, the relief started to disintegrate. And basically what I was told was that the structures we have built in our societies are going to be, I don't want to say crumbling down, but kind of, let's just say things are being restructured. There will be a lot of changes coming, and these structures, institutions that we thought were so solid will actually be dissolving. So as we head to the golden age, there's certain institutions, ways of being, and ways of doing things that cannot come with us as we evolve as not only a collective, but as individuals. There are certain structures that may have worked for us in the past, but they no longer serve society's needs in the way that they used to. Now, partly this is because, well, all things change and all things evolve, and as our needs change, so do the structures that support us. And sometimes these structures, where they may have once started as very idealistic and the concept was pure and for the best intention, because the way the natural cycles of life occur, there's always going to be a decline and decay, and that can happen in many ways. And so when you apply that understanding of how cycles work, birth, climax, death, rebirth, and you put humans into the mix, then you start to realize that these ideals and concepts where once they worked, when the human mind and the human ego begins to interfere with the original idea, it could kind of deviate away from the original intention. And sometimes that new intention is coming from either an outdated idea or corruption. And I'm not going to get too heavy into the details of any politics, because I'm not saying that everything that we're working with right now is corrupt, but it is, I will say that it is slowly declining and deviating from the original purpose. And so now it's time for new ways of doing things that better matches our consciousness as we begin to evolve and ascend and expand our own intelligence and understanding of the way things work. So that's about as nicely as I can put it, because basically, this is a repeating cycle. All civilizations who have on this earth, the third dimension, who have risen to a very high status, usually end up forgetting that there is a higher power that really is truly in control. And when we as a people, maybe not individually, but as a people, begin to feel that there is no God, that is when things begin to decline. Integrity declines, morals decline, and then things shift. So what I was shown in this download was basically humans are no longer humble, and although we are immortal in spirit, we are mortal in our human bodies. And that is the process of our life. That is a process of life. That is the cycle of life. And when we begin to try to cheat death, then we begin to lose the value of life, because we don't realize that that life is precious, and we only have a certain amount of time to fulfill either our soul mission, or to truly enjoy and be present in the moment of our incarnation, of every moment we have in this incarnation. I think that basically what the message was trying to convey is that this is about coming back into the heart, where we as humans have placed so much value in the mind and expanding our intelligence, and we have kind of lost the balance between the mind and the heart, where true wisdom lives, and our compassion is lacking. A lot of us live either in the past or in the future, and we're never present. I would never say never, sometimes or most of the time, or some of us, I'll put it like that, are not present in the moment. And when you're not present, you can't truly be thankful and alive, because the present is alive. The past is gone. It doesn't exist anymore, and the future hasn't even yet begun. So this is about returning to the heart, but we all have a choice. Not all of us will make that choice. Not all of us will balance the Atlantean wisdom with the Lemurian wisdom, but that is what is being asked of us. To shed our egos, to shed our superiority complex, to become humble again, to connect to our spirit, to connect to the spirit of the earth, to coexist, to be a part of the earth and her cycles, not try to gain power over, because we will not win. And we're here to love, we're here to create in alignment with Gaia Sophia, in alignment with all the sentient beings here, the animals, the plants, like our environment. We are the guardians of this earth, and it's time to take accountability and responsibility for that. And this is not meant to scare anybody at all, because I truly feel like most of us will align more with our heart as we go through the healing process. And there is a healing process to go through, and myself included, like I'm working through some of my stuff too, to get to strengthen my heart chakra, to get closer, to become more present in every moment. So that's kind of what they were trying to convey to me, and they were just kind of preparing me and letting me know, like, things are going to change, and the way for you to stay the safest is to connect and come into your heart, to leave behind all the mental preoccupations that keep us not living in this reality. It's all good. Some of us are going to not choose to, but that's okay. The key is to sink back into the heart, to make peace with yourself, make peace with the people in your life, make peace with your life, to make peace with the present moment, to make peace with spirit, your spirit. And another thing I wanted to say was that in July, Sirius will be in conjunction with our sun in Cancer. So there is going to be a lot of changes, or a lot of news, a lot of things will be illuminated. I won't get too into it, but definitely there's going to be some new things happening. And overall, I feel like they will be positive. And on an individual level, it's just, remember just to come back to your heart, and it's going to be okay. Like, we're going to be okay. And I also feel like some of us, maybe not all of us, but the sensitives, the empaths, the ones who are activating their clairs, we will begin to have like a more direct contact with other beings. So, I mean, this is what I'm getting. So I'm going to relay the message, and I'm not going to judge it. Yeah, some of us will be in more direct contact with other star beings, I'll put it like that, other star beings, not just from other star systems, but I'm also getting the inner planes here on Gaia as she is ascending as well. And the veil will be thinning basically, and we will have more access to communication with different beings. And it's up to your discernment what you want to do with that information, and if you're aware of that or not. And for some of you who may think you're crazy, you're not. I don't know. So that's what I'm getting. That's what they told me. And when they gave me the message, they had to tell me, you know, do not fear. Do not fear. This is what it is. You're safe as long as you come back to the heart. And that's very important. It's very important right now to forgive. Very important to have compassion. Again, I will admit that there's a couple times where, you know, with all this hostile climate right now, with all this division and separation and divide about what's going on, you know, I try to stay neutral as possible, but, you know, I'm human, and, you know, I have my own ideas and beliefs, my own projections of what I'm co-creating into this universal field and this reality. But I'm also aware that these are my projections, and I do know that we are in the living matrix, the holographic universe, and I have to remind myself that sometimes it's so easy to slip back in to the matrix and think that this is actually realer than what it is. For those of you who get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. So it's okay. Forgive yourself, have compassion, and just come back into your center, come back into your heart, and try to understand where these flare-ups or triggers come from if you haven't already. I've been working, because this is a great time for shadow work. If you haven't gotten everything done, you know, through everything, some stuff has been creeping up that I was like, oh, okay, let's work on that. So, yeah, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. It's time to face ourselves and love ourselves so we can spread that love out into the environment, into the world, and co-create something beautiful, because that is what the universe wants. Okay? So I thought I would pull a card, actually. I'm going to pull a card and let's see what Gaia and the universe have to say. Ooh, that was quick. Okay. So we get perception. Okay. I'll read what it says. Perception. 35 too. So 3 plus 5 is 8. So it has a lot to do with karma, cycles. Good karma and bad karma. Don't get scared. Perception. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a good, hard, deep look at it. Okay, so yes, that makes total sense. I think that's my guides reminding me to not forget to bring that up, because basically what we perceive is our reality, and our perception influences our responses, and our responses influence other people's responses, and those responses, depending on how we interact, change the outcome and trajectory. Think about that and how that changes the ripple effect throughout life and maybe even infinity. So the way we perceive is what we create, and we're all co-creating this reality together. It's all our minds, all our great minds coming together and making it what it is. So we have the choice to either focus on the negative or focus on the positive. Now, it's important to know the stuff that's going on that maybe seem a little dark or negative, and understand that, but to dwell there will only create more of it. It's about processing it, accepting it, and releasing it, and coming back to that positive outlook. And if we have the power to co-create, why wouldn't we want to co-create a beautiful life? Why would we want to co-create arguments and like, I'm right, no, you're wrong, and you're an idiot, and you're stupid, and I did it too, and I've had to work through that, and I know why I did it, and I'm good with it now. But at the end of the day, we have to come back to, this is all about coming together. It's about evolving as a unit, as in unity. And just look at it like this. If you can create a better world, if we all have the power to create a better world, which we do, then what are you putting into it? How are you perceiving your life? How are you perceiving everything around you? If you're not thinking of it in a positive, co-creative, productive, beautiful, compassionate, loving way, then you're not going to be responding in that way, and therefore you are not creating that. You're creating the opposite or nothing at all. Right? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I guess that's all I have to say. I probably forgot a bunch of stuff, but that's just what's coming through. And oh yeah, one more thing, sorry. So for the cover, for the cover of this video, I will use the sun glyphs that I saw and I did on Photoshop. So basically, when I meditate in the morning, a lot of the times I sun gaze. So basically, these sun glyphs are transmissions. So that's what's going to be on the cover of this video, is the sun glyph transmission that, excuse me, that Sirius and our sun are coming together and co-creating, helping us to co-create as they are streaming down light codes for this new world.